Hello guys, my name is Devesh and welcome to my channel. This is the 38th tutorial on the series Python for Beginners, and in this lecture we will continue with our discussion on function. In the last tutorial we saw a function is a block of code which gets executed only when it is called. Now let us try to achieve something meaningful using function. So here's our problem statement. Write a function to automate the below task. A user receives a report containing dictionary of servers and their running statuses every day. He is expected to go through it and prepare a list of server names which are not running. Okay, so as a user, we are going to get this dictionary with this being the name of the server and this is the status of server. So win1 is the name of server and its current running status is on. Win2 is the name of the server and its current status is on. So likewise we have Win3 with status as off, and up till Linux 5 the status is off. So what we have to do is we have to go through the list, go through this dictionary and prepare a list of servers where status is not running, that is where status is equal to off, and we have to do this using a function. So let's do it. So this is the list. Okay, let's take a variable, say, oh, they have already given us variable. What is the name of that variable? Servers is equal to. Okay, now let's write a function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say write the name. Okay, define def. Let this name of function be status check. Okay, and then I'm going to iterate over this server. So I'm going to say for keys comma value in server. Okay, so when I say keys and values, I get name of the server as key and status as value. So you can write it like this instead if you want. Name, like server name slash status, server status in server. If server status is equal to, let's copy this from here so we don't make any mistake in casing. Okay, if this is off, we have to prepare a list like this, expected dictionary. There has to be underscore in between. Expected result is equal to this. Okay, so I'm going to take one empty dictionary, empty list here. Expected result, gentlemen, right underscore here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to append to this expected result is equal to expected result dot append, then the name of server. Okay, once the entire iteration is complete over this dictionary, in the expected result we will get our list of servers which are not running. Okay, so I can print it here. Okay, now let's invoke this. If I run this code, nothing will happen because to run this function I need to invoke it or call it. Call and invoke are both the same thing. Let's run this. Too many values to unpack, expected to. Okay, for server name, okay, this has to be dot items, and let's run it. So we get it here now. So this is how we can find the list of servers which are not in running state. Now you can come up and ask me this question, Devesh, there are only 5 servers, right? I can simply look at it and say Win3 and Linux 5 are not running. Why do I need to write a function? It is much more tedious. While your argument is quite legitimate, But the thing is, right now it is 5. What if you have like 100 or thousands of server? In that case, it would be a tedious job to read the status of each servers individually. And to demonstrate that, let me copy paste one snippet from the notepad and bring it here. Let's replace this with our snippet. Okay, and let's run this now. And here's the list of servers which are not running. So as an individual, I don't even have to go through this entire list, and in a fraction of seconds this automation has given me the list of servers which are not running. Okay, so this is how small automations or small handy functions can give you edge over your day-to-day task. All right, now let's move on to the other part. Now I am getting this big list here. Okay, I have printed it onto the console, but as in my day-to-day purpose, I may not just want to print it. I may want to capture this list from this function. Like, I may expect this function to return me this list instead of printing it onto the console, and then I am going to like prepare a report of this list and send it to the desired team to make this servers running. Like, so my expectation from this function is not to print this list onto the console, rather than just give me the list instead. So what I can do is I can go to this function and write a keyword called as return, and then whatever the value I want to return, like it is list of servers which are not running in our case, and this is stored in the variable called expected result. Okay, and now if I run this, I am not getting anything here, but this invocation or the call is actually carrying the value of expected result. And if you want to validate it, you can simply print it here like this. And let me run this now, and you see we are getting the same result here. Okay, now the advantage of having return function is I can capture the value whatever this function is giving me, and at a later point of time I can do anything that I want to do with this list. All right, so that brings us to the conclusion that function can be of two types. Number one, which return us some value like this, and the one which do not return us any value. Now the question arises, when to use what? Now the answer to that is, like, I am the owner of all these servers and I just want to check which servers are not running. So it may be appropriate that I just get them printed on the screen. So instead of having return, I can simply print it onto the console. That's one case. In that case, I am expecting this function just to do some task, and that's it, and terminate then and there itself. And in the other case, I want the function to return me the expected result in the form of this list, and then I am going to use this list to send a mail to the desired team to turn on these systems or to turn on these servers. So these are the two cases. When you want the data out of the function, you would use return keyword and get the desired output here. And in a generic case, when you just want to perform some task and the function to terminate then and there itself, in that case you don't necessarily have to use a return keyword. That's totally optional.